Facebook shops for small businesses. 15 tips to help build your brand. Hi, I'm Peter and welcome to the Hidden Online Living YouTube channel. And here in this video, I want to provide you with 15 helpful tips that will actually help you to build out your new Facebook shop. If you're in the position of trying to adapt your small business and to move it online, and you're going to use the Facebook shops as your platform, well, these steps will actually help you to increase engagement and to actually help build up your brand over time. So we'll jump in. So tip number 1 would be to provide valuable content. And what do I mean by that? Essentially, when you're building out your shop and you're getting all your content and so forth up onto the platform, the next thing you want to do when you have everything ready to go is you essentially want to start building up a following and increasing engagement. Now, you may already have a following based off your business in the locality, but eventually you want to start engaging where you're going to want to build your audience. So you need to provide valuable content, and that includes engaging posts, commenting on people's comments and feedback, and you just want to use that to increase the overall level of engagement within your platform. But essentially, you have to ask yourself the question as well every time when you go to create a post. You have to ask yourself, how much value can I provide to my audience? Will it actually help them in what they need? Do I have necessary resources available that can actually help them? Because essentially, when you have your business built up, you will have it catered around a specific niche, and you want to engage with people that would actually be interested in what you have to offer. So if you can provide your content around that, you will be able to increase that engagement over time. The next tip here will literally be following up from the last point, will be to post regularly. So essentially, when you're creating your valuable content and your posts to help increase engagement, you want to make sure that you keep your user base engaged. And by doing that, it is ideal to post on a regular basis. Now, when I say post, it's not to go crazy and literally posting 3, 4, 5 times a day. Because even though that may be good in some cases, a lot of the times it can actually have a negative effect when in regards to your followers, because sometimes that can annoy them. So you want to kind of find a balance, maybe 1 to 2 posts maybe a day at best, but not as little as 1 to 2 posts a month, where that can literally just, people will drop off. People, if they are interested in what you have to offer, you want to keep providing them with as much content as you can possibly offer. So you literally need to keep that level of engagement moving forward. So you just need to find a balance in the amount of content that you provide. But essentially, like 1 post a day or 2 posts should be enough on your business, or a couple of times a week, just to keep that level of engagement high. So my third tip would be to post at the right time. And this leads off the previous 2 steps. So essentially, when you are posting your content, you want to really think about the engagement of your followers when they are most likely to actually read your posts or content and so forth. There's no point in, say, posting your content at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody is asleep in bed, or during work hours. The best times ideally would be to post is either first thing in the morning when they're actually on the train or bus or whatever going into work, or at their lunch break, or even in the evening after, or say 6 p.m. when they've actually finished work, because they're more likely to engage with what you're actually providing. And essentially, a lot of people will usually go to social media and check out social media at those times of the day most of all. So they would be ideal times to really schedule out your posts throughout each day if you're looking to have any sort of consistency. So point number 4 would be to engage with your followers. So essentially, when you do start creating content and putting it out there on Facebook, especially when you're trying to promote your Facebook shop or your online business, you will eventually start getting people leaving comments and engaging with the offers and services that you're providing in your posts. And what you want to do is you want to give them feedback and relate to them in some way. And you can do that by replying to people's comments, liking their comments, and just general engagement throughout, just to increase your influence. And it also helps to build up trust with your followers and people that are actually coming to your platform, especially if they're looking to eventually buy something, so that you can build up that level of trust with them over time. So it's important to engage with your followers. So the 5th point would be not to go crazy with advertising. Like I previously mentioned in one of the earlier steps in terms of times to post and so forth, the same can be said when you're setting up advertisements, because the whole point of your online business is to increase engagement and to get people into your platform. And you can do that through, say, setting up regular posts, but also through advertising on different social media platforms to drive traffic to your offers within the Facebook shop that you've set up. But at the same time, you don't want to really go heavy on the likes of the advertisements that people see, because if you really go gung-ho with advertising and trying to overstay your welcome, if you will, people will quickly get turned off and get annoyed by it when they keep seeing the same ad regularly throughout the day, and eventually it will lead them to drop off and to literally not engage with you any longer. So you really need to think about having a balance when it comes to your advertisements and so forth. Similar to setting up posts. That way then you can keep that level of engagement on your platform high. Point number 6 would be to link posts you have on Facebook to an external website you may have. So this is another way to help increase engagement within your platform. If you have an external website or a blog or something that you have to try and increase engagement, linking your posts from Facebook and vice versa to the platform will actually help get more followers in through different avenues. This will also help you to increase engagement, build up your influence and your following, and it will also make your brand more widespread and available to other people to see over time. So it is a good idea to link out your content to other areas if you can. So point number 7 would be to offer exclusive coupons or discounts. So essentially, when you've built up enough of a following, or even to just increase your engagement even further on your platform, especially on Facebook, it'd be a good idea to actually engage, especially with new followers or new users, that you can give them a discount or a coupon for say 10% or 20% off their first order on your shop, to actually draw them in, so that they will actually it would give them a good chance of actually wanting to make a purchase, especially if you have something that they are looking for. And not only that, it also helps you to provide that little bit of extra trust and build up that level of engagement with those new followers, so that hopefully they will be returning customers in the future. So essentially you want to keep building that level of trust up all the time, and providing coupons and so forth can actually help you to do that. Point number 8 would be actually to repost content from your blog or your other external websites. This kind of does go back off previous steps that I mentioned, but this also helps to increase engagement. But not only that, if you actually have a specific niche that you've built your business or your shop around, and you do have valuable information and knowledge in key areas that people can actually that need help with, a lot of times you won't be able to provide all that information that people need on, say, a product description or post in general, or even an advertisement. But if you have an external blog that you can send people to that also relates to your current Facebook shop, this will also allow people to literally see what it is that you're doing. But not only that, it actually shows them how to use the product, what they need to do, and it also helps to solve a problem, which essentially is what you want to do, essentially solving a user query. So this allows for an extra level of engagement. So you can really go into detail on your blog post about exactly A, B, and C of how all the steps work with products and services that you offer, as long as you have knowledge on background of it. So point number 9 would be to encourage user-generated content on your platform. So essentially, when you are building up a level of trust with your followers, you can allow people to actually engage with your posts, etc., but also allow them to contribute as well. So that way then it can also further increase engagement, plus it allows for other avenues of other followers to come into your platform as well. So they may know people that actually would be interested in something that you have to offer. So by allowing them to create content as well, it'll also help draw in other followers over time. Plus it allows you to increase your engagement by responding to comments, liking posts and so forth. Going back pretty much over a lot of the steps that I've mentioned in the video. So you're just constantly building up your whole influence the whole time, and it really will allow your shop and your business to really flourish over time on the platform. So point number 10 will literally be similar to one of the previous steps, would be to announce discounts. So going back off like the previous step where I mentioned coupons, essentially you want to get people excited about what it is that you're promoting, especially if you have a new product or service, or you're doing a sale on your Facebook shop. If you can announce ahead of time of upcoming discounts and even set up limited time discounts, it actually will draw a lot of people in a short period of time to literally engage and purchase what it is that you have to offer. So if you announce all those things and make it aware through other media posts and even through Facebook itself, you will be able to increase your engagement tenfold. So it's definitely something worth looking into. So point number 11 when you're building up your Facebook shop business is that when you do have people asking questions, always respond to them. Try to respond to as many as you can, and especially as often as you can, because this will help to keep users engaged, and it just builds up that level of trust over time. So you always want to be prompt with your responses, because by being quick to respond and being prompt with your responses, it does allow your followers to actually engage with you further so that you can go back and forth. If you have any questions or queries regarding things that you're offering, at least you can provide them with more information and show them or explain to them how these products that you're selling actually work and how they can be useful to them. So point number 12, and this literally runs off the previous point, is to be polite and be patient when you're dealing with queries and comments and so forth. Because for all the positive work that you're trying to do, sometimes you will get a lot of negative aspects and even people with general issues and so forth. And sometimes it may lead to being not so nice. So you really do have to have a level head and not to really react to certain situations. So you just have to be calm and collected when you're engaging with people and just respond to comments, etc. with a prompt and efficient manner, and just try to be as professional as you can at all times. This will not only help increase engagement, but it also will help build up trust with your following, because that will actually allow followers to actually stay with your platform and become future customers down the line. So point number 13 is always try to solve the user's problem with regards to what it is that you're offering. So if people do have questions or queries regarding certain issues around products or services that you're selling, always try to be prompt with your responses, but also try to give certain topics or helpful guidance on how they can actually fix a problem, or if you can help them fix it in some shape or form. You can either do that by sending them to an article on your website that actually explains in detail, showing them how a specific product works or how you can use it, or even explain to them in general what they need to do. And just try to be as efficient as you can with your responses and helping to solve a problem. Because essentially, like mentioned of the previous steps, if you can actually help them solve their problem, they will actually come back to you time and again. So point number 14, and this again does work off the previous steps, is eventually when you've dealt with certain queries, especially even like some negative queries, and you've overcome situations and you've actually dealt with those issues and you've helped people solve their problems. If people have at any point left you negative feedback or comments or angry comments, which chances are probably will happen, you can actually then ask them, once you've actually helped them and they know they can trust you, you can actually ask them to remove those comments that they've left on your Facebook page. The reason being for that is anyone new coming into the page won't see all the negative comments, and if they see the more positive that they see, or at least neutral ground comments, or won't drive people away, at least they'll be able to see, oh well, this platform looks legitimate and I'm going to look further into it. So again, this just helps to bring a new follower in, and it helps increase engagement and even build up your followers over time. So my last point on this list, point number 15, and it does tie back to some of the earlier points I mentioned, would be to recommend other products and services that you actually have to offer on your platform, on your Facebook shop. So depending on your niche, you may have a lot of products that you know that are useful to people, other people are looking for, but you can also use that as an avenue to recommend other products that you may have that may also suit them as well. So providing information on those other products that you're recommending will also help to increase engagement again and potentially make more sales. Plus, if it also allows for the user query to be solved or issue to be solved, then that is a perfect way to be able to increase your revenue over time. Because if you're recommending products that you know people can have that's related to something else that you're selling, you can increase your profit over time. And not that, increase engagement, build up your following, and get new people in the door as time goes on. So there's 15 helpful, short and simple points that you can use to help build up your Facebook shop and to literally build up your small business. And you can use some of these points here to literally help increase your engagement and just understand what the users actually want when they're coming onto your platform. And essentially now, because with small businesses, regarding the current situation, Facebook is one of the ideal ways to actually increase that engagement, because Facebook is the #1 social media platform on the internet, and it's one of the best ways to actually build up that engagement and increase your following. So by following some of these steps will actually help you to literally just gradually grow your business over time, build up trust, build up a following, build up that level of engagement, and eventually then people will start to buy from you, and then you'll be able to transition everything from your local business onto online, and you'll be able to provide people what they need and help solve their issues. So hopefully you found the information here in this video to be helpful, and if you have, make sure to leave a like on the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated with future content, and also feel free to share the video, as it does help to increase engagement and get videos like this out to people that actually are struggling and do need help to build their online business. Also, if you are looking to get started in your own online journey, make sure to check out the link below this video for a simple and proven formula that will teach you the steps to take action. And also be sure to check out some of the other videos here on screen that will also provide you with other helpful guides and tips on building engagement and building a following for your online business. And I will see you all in the next one.